Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The ceremony will be starting shortly. Please take your seats in front of your screens. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today for the public speaking competition organized by JK Pembangunan, Soft Skill KMPH, and Bureau Academic. I am Lai Wei Shen.
And I am Nur Faiza.
We will be your MC for today. Now, I would like to invite Muhammad Shami bin Noruddin for Dua recitation.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا من خزائن رحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل من لساني يفقهوا قولي وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Muhammad Shami bin Noruddin. As a start, now I would like to introduce our honorable judges. The first judge is Madam Nurul Hidayah binti Abdullah. The second judge is Madam Zakaria Bustamin. Last but not least, the third judge is Sir Nur Fidaus binti Ramli Atau Yusuf. Before we proceed further, do allow me to give a brief explanation on this competition. Today's session will be held in English. For your information, all contestants will be evaluated by our judges and students of KMPH who are watching this live stream. A voting session will be held after the public speaking session, and students can vote via Google Form in the comment section. Students' vote will contribute 20% to the participant scores, and the remaining 80% will be evaluated by our judges based on the contestants' use of language and the content.
Now, let us begin with the first contestant, Nazra Sofia binti Zulkifli.
Standards, ladies and gentlemen, by definition, is something established by authority, general consent, as a model or point reference. It's like a limit towards perfection, or it is perfection itself. One must desire ever so desperately to achieve that point in whatever they are going for. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening. I am Nazra Sofia binti Zulkifli from 3 SK11, and you must be wondering, why am I talking about standards here? Let me ask you something. Ever heard the phrases, I'm not tall enough, I don't really look good with dark skin, or you're too fat, and even, I'm cutting off some calories for a waistline, and the list goes on. I'm at the peak of disappointment in today's society. The expectations they give are depressing and forcing much. The beauty standards these days are too much and unrealistic. Why should we go through trials and tribulations just to please the eyes of the great? Yes, I'm talking about you. You who didn't even consider to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I think is pretty? Just here in Southeast Asia, beauty standards are taking their toll. I blame the older generations for their means to disapprove of everything that youngsters do and how they are simply by saying that having dark skin is ugly or being 5'6" brings you bad luck. I'm not saying that it's okay to be malnutritious. What I'm pointing out here is that don't beat yourself up if you're not what you're not. My dear audience, girls, especially young girls who are trying to find their positions and roles in the society, are going off limits to be somebodies they aren't worth becoming, skipping meals just to have the perfect selfie, running the extra mile for the tiny dress that they probably feel foreign in it, risking a lifetime dialysis treatment for 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 glassy skin and hundreds of ringgits for the perfect complexion per se. Drastic measures have been made. And for what? To go up the standard that we materialistically invented. It's a harsh, bitter world that we created, with the amount of anxieties that keep going up and unnecessarily. Don't we have enough problems already? Not to offend anybody, but based on my everyday surroundings, most people look the same. Why? Because they're achieving the same standard. Copycat after copycat, it bores me. No doubt there are countless people who feel the same way as myself. I would want to see uniqueness and how they present their characters. You don't have to be as fair as a corpse, 45 kilos, or even nude color clothes to define as perfect. What's wrong with dark shades? Does weighing a little more makes you loser? And do you always need to look prim and perfect? Have a different aesthetic. Now that's something like an invention. In our in our society, it's hard to live without constant comparing to the people around you. The constant comparing and doubting yourself can lead to a lot more serious issues that can take a large toll on your mental health. One of the side effects one of the side effects is developing eating disorder. Studies have proven that beauty standards directly contribute to anxiety and depression. They can trigger body dysmorphia and disordered eating. They can fuel to low self-esteem, self-harm, and suicide. All of these conditions have risen in recent years, and all of them are unequivocally connected to beauty standards. This here is the product of part. Um, this here is the product of patriarchy, capitalism, colonialism, and white supremacy. The most basic beauty standard would be having fair skin, anti-aging, pouty lips, um, painted nose, pointed nose, and unachievable height range. They are communicated to us from birth, basically by television and magazines and advertising and dress codes and government policies. They reinforce racism, colorism, classism, ableism, ageism, and sexism. Conforming to beauty standards confers a certain set of privileges, particularly for women, better treatment, and that is better treatment, better jobs, better pay. It can feel empowering because it offers literal power. However, however, it's a bait and switch. To earn that life, to earn that life, time and money through beauty, you sacrifice your life, time and money to beauty. And to this point, the large majority standards require constant upkeep. They are impossible to achieve or close to it, like erasing your pores. Their size is genetically determined and their existence is essential. Preserving your youth, positive, uh, a seeming positive way to promote anti-aging ideology, or lightening your skin. Do I need to elaborate? Beauty, beauty ideals have progressed so far past what's humanly possible that we are not even idealizing humans anymore. We're idealizing glass and dolphins and dumplings. There's nothing more that I can say. And I apologize if I was too harsh. Thank you and assalamu alaikum.
Thank you to Siti Zulaikha binti Muhammad Zubir.
Next, I would like to call upon the second contestant, Siti Zulaikha binti Muhammad Zubir.
Hi. Yes, yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Hi, and good evening to my fellow friends and judges. I want to ask all of you something. Do you like traveling? Mm, and do you prefer to travel with your friend or family or just by yourself? As for me, I love to travel with my family or friends because the more the merrier. And I'm pretty sure for all of you that doesn't have any experience of traveling, you want a tips, you want some tips before you start travel. So I I want to share all of you the best tips, the best travel tips. Firstly, make a list. A month before you start traveling, please make a so sorry. I suggest you to make a list a month before you start traveling because if you make list if you make a list last minute you will forget many important things and unless you have a really strong memory. This is based on my experience usually. The second tip is don't forget to bring an extra camera battery or a power an extra camera battery or two and a power bank. Have you ever to see an epic moment or scenery and you want to take a picture of it, but your camera left 1%, your camera battery left 1% and you don't have any backup. How do you feel? Sad? Disappointed? Of course. Who doesn't feel disappointed about it? So I suggest all of you to bring a two or two or three camera batteries. Also, I want to suggest you to bring a power bank, even though your phone has a 50,000 mAh battery, because you can use it during an emergency. I give an example. When you're traveling, you you want to back to hotel, but an hour before you get to you arrive to your hotel, you got accident, and your battery your battery is empty. Your phone battery is empty. Your phone battery is empty, and you travel alone. So I know you can borrow someone's handphone, but it feels weird, if you travel alone and you you borrow someone's phone just because uh and you didn't bring power bank. Yeah, just it's my opinion. It is feel weird. And the next tip, the next is don't keep your money, don't keep your money, uh, and all of your credit cards in one spot. Usually, in one spot. Usually, traveler bring usually traveler separate them. Usually, traveler kept them in a separate bag so that if you are get robbed, you still have some money left or and credit left. Then the fourth tip is pick up travel first aid kit with cold medicine, cough drop, charcoal peel, bandage, instant ice pack, uh, instant hot pad, and others. From this, you can save your money if you don't if you feel ill when traveling. The fifth tip is keep your mind open when you in a foreign place. It is because we live in a world full of unique culture and be respectful be respectful to their culture. And more importantly, you are just a visitor, not a resident. And the last but not least is bring a bottle of sunscreen. It is because you will be exposed to UV rays and in the long time, and you will, and this is not good for your skin health. So I suggest you all to bring a bottle of sunscreen. Not only but not only you just bring it, you must wear it too. That's all from me. I hope you guys get some useful tips from me, and I apologize if I mispronounce or state the wrong facts. Thank you everyone and have a good night. Sleep tight everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Siti Zulaikha.
And our third contestant for today is Asarel Abraham.
Right. A very good evening. I would like to wish to everyone present here today. My name is Asarel Abraham, and I would like to give you all a speech.
Asaril, your camera is not on.
It's is it on now? No.
No, we can't see you.
Wait, but then I've turned it on already. Wait, should I try to leave and come back? Or...
Yeah. Oh, can already. We found.
Yep.
And our third contestant for today, Asarel Abraham.
Right. A very good evening. I would like to wish to everyone present here today. My name is Asarel Abraham, and I would like to present a talk on sexual harassment and its aftermaths on women specifically. Before I get on to the details about this topic, I would like to first give a brief explanation on what sexual harassment actually is. many people are unaware about the fact that they are actually victims of sexual harassment. And this is because, well, sexual harassment comes in many forms, such as physical, verbal, visual, and also psychological. Now, what do these actually mean? For example, catcalling is one clear example of verbal sexual harassment. Even um, visually staring at someone with a sexual intent is a form of visual sexual harassment, and repeated unwanted invitations to something is unfortunately a form of physical sexual harassment. Now, a survey was conducted by the Center for Governance of Political Studies in collaboration with All Women's Action Society (AWAS), and it revealed that 57% of Malaysian women, 57%, ladies and gentlemen, of Malaysian women have reported that they have been at least once sexually harassed while just crossing down the street, a daily activity that people are required to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to tell you that this does not also occur to men. However, men do not need to associate with the fear of having to just cross the road unaccompanied, or even wait in a stranded or unoccupied area. Thus, with this being clear, sexual harassment among women is an act that is so wild and happening, and needed repercussions need to come into place in order for there to be a solution to this problem. Regarding the effects of sexual harassment towards women, one of the most major factors is towards their mental well-being. Now, some of the symptoms that might occur to people who have been sexually harassed are PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress syndrome, even anxiety and depression. Now, studies have also showed the correlation between PTSD as well as the symptoms when they have been affected by sexual harassment, such as they tend to just stay clear of all individuals or even things that might evoke their memories of their traumatic and haunting past, as well as relive it because of how scary it is for them. Mentally, this also causes anxiety due to the fact that they fear having to go through that same experience again. And this is truly devastating. Now, when we look at this, the another aspect that we can turn the page onto is towards the physical effects of sexual harassment. A study was conducted by a professor named Hurston, and his study revealed that women with records of sexual harassment have drastically higher rates of blood pressure and also lower recorded sleep times as compared to women with no such records. Now, when we clinically cut these pieces into broad in precisely, we can directly link this into a higher and increased risk of stage 1 and 2 hypertension in women which do not take antihypertensive medication. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, there is more, because despite already being affected physically and mentally, sexual harassment also affects the social well-being of women. Women that have been sexually assaulted tend to not engage in any communication with their family or friends, including loved ones, because of the feelings of embarrassment and shame. And to be honest, I don't blame them. And because of why they do this is due to the fact that they are so frightened that people might come up to them and confront them about their experience, so they would just rather detach from any social commitments. Now, it is so obvious to everybody that healthy social interactions are definitely needed for us humans to have a healthy and strong support system in order for us to go through tough times like this. But due to the absence and lack in this area, this has a very terrible negative effect towards the social well-being of a woman. To conclude, every woman that has gone through an experience that is this traumatic needs continuous support from us citizens. However, due to the lack of knowledge and information regarding the aftermaths of of sexual harassment, people of Malaysia don't really know how to sympathize with victims, and this may cause them to actually not be able to give them the proper help that is needed accordingly. The victims of sexual harassment just need acceptance. They need love after going through such a terrible situation, and it's pretty much that simple. However, this is tend to not happen for victims. Family members and even friends might not be able to solve this problem because it's not an easy one to fix. However, being there to listen, to believe, and to even encourage them goes a long and tremendous way in their healing process. As a consequence, we as a community people, we as strong citizens in this 21st century need to take the action to spread awareness on this factor, and in order for there to be a proper social system to help women overcome their traumatic experience, their personal challenges, and even fear. With all that considered, thank you all for your undivided attention.
Thank you to Asarel Abraham for his lovely speech.
Now, let's welcome our fourth contestant, Ahmad Wafiq bin Ashar.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, and thank you to our honorable judges. So we have three judges today: Sir Zakaria, Madam Nurul Hidayah, and Sir Nur Firdaus, and all the audience. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Wafiq bin Azhar, and I'm from class 1DSH04. Well, it is indeed an honor to be given the chance to stand here in front of you and also the audience. Well, in task today, I would like to talk about how to make a school as a fun place. Well, according to Google, school is a place where we learn a various topic and also various subjects. It is covers mathematics, biological, physics, chemistry, geography, Malay language, even religion language, and many more. Whereas funds means pleasantly entertaining or providing enjoyment. In other words, our topic today will show you the way to make our presence at school as an enjoyable place, besides most people say it as boring place. Well, let's touch about teaching strategies. Most of the time, students will just sit in class, and then the teacher will came to the school and came to the class and then just teach based on the books, and students need to cram and memorize it. Well, this will affect the students as it's really hard because it's provide a variety of subjects, and then when it's a variety of subjects offers, it also creates a headache to students, and it's gonna be hard and end up become stressful to students. So we must change these teaching strategies by creating an experimental learning or discovery learning. This is subjects that require observation such as science. Because of this type of learning will be given more time for real observation. And it is not also creates it is not also creates attention to students, it is also promotes students' thinking ability. Students should be more close to the experimental and discovery learning, as it is a fun part, yeah, of course, and the real experience were given at the young age. I mean, where the fun part is that most students have the chance to explore themselves at the young age. Okay, so we have touched about the classroom, the teaching strategies. Let's touch about the school building, design of the building. Well, most school building and most design of the school were usually dull and more simplistic. Some students even say school looks like a jail. Well, we need to create a school building and its compound a fun place for students and also teachers. Most school only provides canteen. Well, we can even add such as activity rooms, student centers, and cafeteria. This case will promote attention of students and will build an environment that require a positive and it feel welcome and comfortable. Students will certainly love to come in their school to looks like a resort, like a hotel, attractions, and many more. Because of this, students not only become fun because students also can create bonding between their friends and it also creates memories based on their school and many more. Okay, so and lastly, I would like to talk is about we can reduce the number of students in class. Um, the ideal number of students should be around 50 to 20 students per class. This is because that there has long been the practice in prestigious school overseas and school in developed countries. This is because that the smaller the students, the smaller the amount of students in one class, the better their understanding learning. Because let's say they have a question and if provides a lot of students in one class, some of the student doesn't, some of the students might be shy, and because it has cover a lot of students in one place, it is mean that some students from the back seat at the back will have a hard time in order to understand what teacher wants to explain, what teacher want to teach today's topic, certain topics. This will create some hard time for students in order to understand some certain subjects that require thinking abilities like science, calculation, mathematics, and many more. So when we limit the amount of students, a limit amount of students in one class, students will get better attention from teachers and whatever learning theories in practice would be carried out successfully. So all in all of these things, all of these strategies to make school fun are really neat in order to make school as a memorable places and not as a jail, or some people even call it as a hell. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmad Wafiq.
Now let us welcome our fifth contestant, J. Harish and Lucky Jaganathan. Now let us welcome our fifth contestant, Muhammad Arshad bin Muhammad Arif.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This beautiful night, I thank the MC and the most precious teacher that are going to read my speech. So for tonight's topic is going to be the most beautiful, the most special topic of your entire life. So tonight's topic is gonna be about love. You might be thinking right now, what this fella is gonna be talking about? Is it marriage or is it couple? No, I'm gonna be talking about self-love. Yes, I'm gonna be talking about self-love. It is a compulsory that each and every one of you love yourself. Why? And I want to ask you a question right now. How do you define yourself? How do you define you? Few people define it in 3 ways. Number one, they define it by their physical. Number two, they define it with their job and bank balance. Number three, they define it with what others think about them. There's nothing wrong here. It's the fact that what others think about us plays a very important role in our daily life. As a smart person, what we'll be doing in our life is we'll be searching all over the world for the best ever friend, for the best person that can change our life to a better place each and every moment of our life. Either you search for a good friend or a bad one. Everyone in this world is a teacher, right? You might be thinking right now, why everyone is a teacher? I'm not going to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor. No, you must realize one thing. Everyone in life is a teacher. Either they teach you a good thing or they teach you a bad thing. It's a fact that we should know every moment in our life is very precious. I want to share to you a story. In 1972, there's a girl at Selangor, Sabak Bernam. What she did was she went to school and her friends just harassed her. They talked bad about her. They just said that you are a useless person in this world. No one cares about you. And what happened to her? She went home and complained to her mom. And what happened? After 2 weeks, there was a news on Berita Harian newspaper and the Stars, which is she committed suicide. You might be thinking, suicide? It's a very serious thing. Yep, it's a very serious thing, but will anyone do it? Will anyone in this world just take suicide as solution in their life? Yes, few people do it. And yet, the statistic shows 87% of Malaysian population every year they commit suicide. Why? Why? Because they feel so depressed with their life. They feel that, what am I doing in this world? What am I doing? So here I am to make myself clear, to make it as crystal clear that you are in this world for a reason. You are in this world for some reason that God has sent you here. And I want to remind you one thing tonight. Just take your day tonight. Your day right now, at this moment, at this particular time, is going to be your last day. And you might be thinking, oh, what am I going to do right now? If this is going to be my last day, and the time right now shows it's 9 o'clock, it's 9:80, and it's going to be your last day. You only left few hours. What are you going to do with your life? And few of you might be thinking, I want to run to my mom. I want to run to my family. I want to apologize to them. There's nothing wrong here. You want to finish your works. You want to finish every task that you got in this world because this is going to be your last day. There's nothing wrong. But trust me, the first step you have to do is forgive yourself. Convince yourself that everything you have done in this world is for your own sake. And you have did something to this world. So, like I said before, the most important love is not love with another person. It's not love with your mom. It's love yourself. It's the moment where you look at the mirror and say to yourself, I love you. Trust me, I really love you. Not because physical, not because of how rich you are. I just love you. And I just want to make myself very clear here. A winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Muhammad Arshad bin Muhammad Arif.
Now, let's welcome our sixth contestant, J. Harish Anak Lelaki Jaganathan.
Good evening to the judges and my fellow friends. Today I would be talking about obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which is also known as OCPD. OCPD is a disorder which involves an obsession with perfection, rules, organization, which leads to routines or ways of doing things. 1 in every 100 people are affected by OCPD. Even more are affected by its symptoms. A person with this type of personality disorder has symptoms of perfectionism that usually begins in early adulthood, which is around our age. And this kind of perfectionism can take a straight A student and cause them to flunk out of college because they try to do everything perfectly. When they try to procrastinate doing assignments, they can't complete them because their standards are set to a much higher scale. Now, I would be reflecting my points on the causes of this specific type of personality disorder. According to research, for a person to be diagnosed with obsessive compulsive personality disorder (OCPD), they must have several specific qualities. For instance, they are much preoccupied with tiny details, rules, lists, order and organization, or schedules to the extent that a major point of the activity that is currently being done is completely gone. For example, some people who are affected by OCPD feels the need to be obsessively clean and organized. Next, they are overly stubborn and inflexible about matters of morality, ethics, or values, and about having things done exactly in their way. For instance, people with OCPD view all actions as either right or wrong. There is no in between. Apart from in control in every situation as much as possible, and when they fail to do so, they withdraw from the situation emotionally. Besides, they have the inability to discard worn out or worthless objects which has zero sentimental value to them. Now that I have told you the symptoms of OCPD, I will now discuss the causes which cause this type of personality disorder. What are the causes of OCPD? Firstly, faulty parenting is known to be a major factor. One example which can be seriously considered is children were punished for making simple mistakes and rewarded for almost nothing. This undeniably creates an imbalance in the thoughts of the children. Not only faulty parenting, but OCPD is believed to be a hereditary problem, which this may be passed from generations to generation. As the saying goes, there are solutions to every problem. OCPD can also be treated. Firstly, people who are suffering from OCPD are advised to consider cognitive behavioral therapy. This therapy session involves talking to your counselor about the several layers of stress, depression, as well as anxiety. Besides that, medication can come in great use in the treatment of OCPD. For instance, doctor may prescribe selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which is also known as SSRI, in order to tackle anxiety. Lastly, relaxation training such as yoga and Tai Chi can come into great practice to tackle the symptoms of OCPD, as this increases the level of dopamine in one's body as well as to reduce the stress level. In my opinion, I would like to conclude by stating any forms of personality disorder should not be taken lightly, and steps to tackle it should be a main priority in order for one to lead a happy and a rich lifestyle. Thank you.
Thank you, J. Harish.
Now let us welcome our seventh contestant, ARVIND Anak Lelaki KANAGASABAI.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Just a second. Okay. All right. So, good evening to the judges and to our fellow students of College Matrikulasi Pahang. The topic that I would like to talk about today is, well, just now we've heard a lot of like beautiful topics. Like Ashraf, he talked about love. Wafiq, he talked about schools, and Nazra, she talked about nutrition. But the topic that I have in my hand right now is a topic that is a very sensitive topic, and I don't think everybody will be as like-minded as I am. So I would like to state my apologies right now if I hurt anybody's feelings whatsoever. My topic is I would like to talk about war. Yes, I'm Arvin, anak lelaki.
Uh, Arvin, are you here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, just now, can you hear me just now?
cannot.
Oh, shoot. Wait, ah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So,
But
let's, yes.
wait. Sorry, but your picture. I mean, just it's okay. Please continue. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Sorry. So, now, it's like this. Let's talk about wars in general. A raging battle between two or more parties with a specific agenda in their own minds, it will happen. That is war. It could be for money, gold, authority, natural resources, and in some cases, religion. The parties involved with war, they are blinded by personal agendas and aim to be the top country by taking down the other countries. This is from the perspective of a country leader being pressured by other country leaders. But
I'm so sorry, everyone. I think Arvin has some connection problem. So now I would like to call upon the last contestant first, which is maatherah angullia binti Ahmad Zahir.
Can you see me? A very good evening to the judges and my fellow friends. So today I'll be talking about the ways to cope with mental health during this COVID-19 pandemic. So as you guys know that the COVID-19 pandemic may have brought many changes to how you live your life, and with it at times uncertainty, altered daily routines, and also financial pressure. You may worry about getting sick, how long the pandemic will last, whether your job will be affected, and what the future will bring. Information overload, rumors, and misinformation can make your life feel out of control and make it unclear what to do. During this pandemic, you may experience stress, anxiety, fear, sadness, and loneliness. And mental health disorder, including anxiety and depression, can worsen. For all of this reason, it is important to learn self-care strategies and get the care you need to have to cope with. Self care strategies are good for your mental health and physical health. You can take charge of your life, take care of your body and your mind, and connect with the others to benefit your mental health. Take care of your body. Be mindful about your physical health. Get enough sleep, go to bed, and get up at the times each day. Stick close to your typical sleep wake schedule, even if you're staying at home. Besides, you can also participate in regular physical activity. Regular physical activity can exercise, help reduce anxiety, and improve mood. Find an activity that includes movements such as dance or exercise apps. Get outside, such as a nature trail or your own backyard. Furthermore, you can eat healthy. Choose a well balanced diet. Avoid loading up on junk food and refined sugar. Limit caffeine as it can exacerbate stress, anxiety, and also sleep problems. Lastly is relax and recharge. Set aside time for yourself, even if few minutes of quiet time can be refreshing and help to settle your mind and reduce anxiety. Many people benefit from practices such as deep breathing, tai chi, yoga, mindfulness, or meditation. Soak in bubble bath, listen to music, or read a book, whatever helps you relax. Select a technique that works for you and practice it regularly. Next is going to talk about in terms of taking care of your mind. In order for you to reduce stress, you can keep your regular routine. Maintaining a regular daily schedule is important to your mental health. In addition to sticking to a regular bedtime routine, keep a consistent times for meals, bathing and getting dressed, work or study schedule, and exercise. Also, set aside time for activities you enjoy. This predictability can make you feel more in control. Besides, you can also stay busy. By means stay busy is healthy distraction can get you away from the cycle of negative thoughts that fuel anxiety and depression. Enjoy hobbies that can you do at home such as reading a book, writing a journal, making a craft, playing games or cooking a new meal. Or identify a new project or clean out that closet you promised you get to. Doing something positive to manage your anxiety is a healthy coping strategy. Besides, you can also connect with others by building support system and strengthen the relationship. First of all, you can do is do something for others. Find purpose in helping the people around you. Helping others is an excellent way to help yourself. For example, email, text, or call to check on your friends, family members, and also neighbors, especially those who are older. If you know someone who can get out, ask if there's something needed, such as groceries or a prescription pickup. Besides, support a family member or a friend. If a family member or friend needs to be quarantined at home or in the hospital due to the COVID-19, come up with ways to stay in contact. This could be through electronic devices or telephone or by sending a note to brighten the day, for example. All in all, I hope that mental health problems such as anxiety or depression will go away on their own can lead to worsening symptoms. If you have concern or if you experience worsening of mental health symptoms, ask for help when you need it and be upfront about what you're doing. To get help, you may want to contact any organization for guidance and treatment. That's all for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Masha Mathira.
Now, let us welcome back our seventh contestant, ARVIND Anak Lelaki KANAGASABAI.
Okay, now is my audio clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, very sorry for the inconvenience caused. So now I would like to talk about war, which is what my topic is. So basically, this war that I would like to talk about is wars in general. Like, okay, so how wars they impact on people's lives? So let's take it for example. When a world leader initiates a war, he initiates it with a personal agenda, a specific agenda that he has in his mind. And when he implicates that agenda on his soldiers to attack a nation for to achieve his agenda, he doesn't really think of what happens economically, socially, and politically. So let's talk about more of a social approach. So for a social approach is, let's take on how many people that are dying. Okay, let's
Arvin again.
Let's wait for.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Now let us wait for our seventh contestant, Arvin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am regret to say that Arvin has a connection problem, so he will not be able to complete his speech. And due to some technical problems, the Google form can't be accessed, and the participant score will be based fully on our judges.
So, with that, all contestants have delivered their speech, and this is the end of today's public speaking session. So, we are taking a short break to give time to our honorable judges to calculate the marks. For your information, there is a total of seven contestants, and they are Muhammad Arshad bin Muhammad Arif,
Nazra Sofia binti Zulkifli,
Siti Zulaikha binti Muhammad Zubir,
Asarel Abraham,
Ahmad Wafiq bin Azhar,
and J. Harish anak lelaki Jaganathan.
And the last contestant, Masha Matira Angullia binti Ahmad Zahir. We have now come to the end of the ceremony. On behalf of the organizing committees, we would like to thank you for spending your time with us this evening. We would like to express our thanks to all the teachers, staff, and pupils who have given us big support and helped to run this program in such a success. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.